Hello, this is Mark. I work at one of the Apple retail store. I might be one of the few Apple employees that got stuck in a house due to the flood crisis in Thailand. If you are my friends and also my close friends have been keeping up with my programs, you might want to quit watching this clip because I don't want to make you bored because it's going to be very basic, but I think for someone who doesn't know a thing about how to choose a Mac, this information might be valuable for them. So many people, many customers do ask me every day about how to choose a Mac laptop between 13 or 15 inch. Mark, what is the difference between 13-inch MacBook Pro and 15-inch MacBook Pro? And concerning the latest update from Apple, the late 2011 MacBook Pro lines, many people ask me, Mark, how comes the 13-inch MacBook Pro is faster than the 15? Because the figure at the end of the processor is like, let's say 13-inch 2.8, but the Pro is only 2.4. But they have forgotten something, that the MacBook Pro 13-inch gives them only dual-core processor. But for the 15-inch MacBook Pros and also 17 gives them quad-core processor. So Apple doubled the core. And also the graphic card, the graphic cards of the 13-inch, we call GPU. The 13-inch use Intel 3000 SD graphic, shared with main memory 384 megabytes of RAM. But for the MacBook Pro 15-inch, it has a distinct graphic card. So the graphic card has its own RAMs up to 512 megabytes. Therefore, the overall performance of the MacBook Pro 15-inch is up to 3 to 6 times faster than the entry level of the 13-inch MacBook Pro. I'm not going to get deeper into all the specification details because you can read any of these details from on the Apple website. But I'm going to give you a brief summary that you might get some clues or idea from my speech. If you are a creative professional about writing novel, or you're a journalist, or if you are a creative professional about music, composer, DJ for a nightclub, the 13-inch MacBook Pro is more than enough for you. Okay, but if you are a creative professional about movie editing, about special effects, about photographer, I think you really need the 15-inch MacBook Pro. But I got something to ask you sincerely, that if you are a creative professional about movie editing and about special effects, do you really need to edit your movie or make effects using probably Adobe After Effects on the road? Because most of these people probably they tend to do any of these tasks in the studio. But if you want to have a Mac as your primary computer, let's say you want to be able to use your MacBook Pro as your primary computer at home without a separate desktop, probably I would suggest the 15-inch MacBook Pro. So the 15-inch MacBook Pro is now available in two configurations, the lower end and higher end. The primary difference between the two is the graphic card RAMs and also the models of the graphic card. The difference between the two is $300. If you have to spend your hard-earned money from your pocket, I would suggest the entry-level 15-inch, but if the company would be willing to pay for the price of the 15-inch MacBook Pro, I would suggest the higher end. This kind of decision is quite basic, but I think it makes sense. So one more time, 15-inch is up to 6 times faster than 13. but it's depending on what you do. And you got to keep in mind one thing is that the 15-inch MacBook Pros it's much heavier, up to half kilograms. Well, if you are a kind of person that always spend your life and works on the road all the time, travel a lot, I think half kilogram is a lot. I saw the movie called The Inconvenient Truth, and now Thailand is suffering from global warming because of the flood. But actually there are more hidden reasons, as I've explained in my other clips, that it was more than just global warming, that we got the flood crisis in Thailand. I saw the movie made by Al Gore many years ago about the inconvenient truth, and I saw Al Gore carry his 15 or 17, I don't remember, large Mac laptops, um, and he carried around and used keynotes to make the presentations about the global warmings. I think nowadays, if Al Gore might want to make another inconvenient truth movie, he might consider buying the 13-inch MacBook Air or something. This is my personal opinion. So if you might have any problem choosing between 13-inch MacBook Pros and also 15, I'm not going to say about 17 because it's pretty much identical to the 15-inch higher end. You can send me direct messages in YouTube. Okay, please kindly don't leave any comments as a question because sometimes I really can't catch up with them. Please kindly send your question directly to my personal message in YouTube, or go to facebook.com/markpubate and leave you your question. I promise that I will answer every question. Thanks for watching.